Today I'm going to show you Git Basics. Today we're going to learn Git Basics as though you are very new to Git, and we will start from the scratch and we will build using Git commands so that you can start your own project management for software development or for academic writing or even to maintain your notes. Let's jump in. So, this is the official website for Git. So, the website name is git-sem.com. So, the Git is defined as it's a free and open source distributed version control system designed to handle everything from small to very large project with speed and efficiency. On the website they say Git is very easy to learn and it has a tiny footprint with lightning fast performance. Yes, it has got lightning fast performance, but it may not be very easy to learn if you are very new to software development or if you have never used a terminal in your professional or academic life. So, I'm going to show you how to use Git for day-to-day use as though you are learning from the scratch. Let's look at what is Git. So on this website you have about page, a download where you can download Git. Git is available for various operating system, like for example Git is available for Windows, Mac and Linux. Okay, let's go to download. It's available for Mac, Windows and Linux. You can also install Git using Git. Once you get to know Git better, we'll get to know that when we go to advanced features of Git. Let's go to home page. From here you can go to documentation and look for a reference manual. So this is an official comprehensive manual page that are included in the Git package itself. But you can come here to look at reference manual. If I click reference manual, I will get all the commands which are available for Git. So there may be around hundreds and hundreds of Git commands. Like if I click here, complete list of all commands, so you will find the vast majority of Git command. So you don't need to know all of the commands for learning Git, but you can know few of them so that you can effectively manage your project. Also, on the official website, there is a free open source book written by Scott Chacon and Ben Straub. You can refer this if you are in any doubt. So it is a very lengthy book. You can use it whenever you want to have a reference. Let's go to the book. Okay, so there are two differences mainly in Git. People are confused between Git and GitHub or GitLab. So Git is the software that is used to maintain your repositories and also maintain your Git history, whereas GitHub is a website where you can upload your software project and your repositories on the cloud. So it is just a place where you keep your project. Similar to GitHub, there are other websites where you can upload your project and repositories One of the other popular one is GitLab. There is another one which is called as a Bitbucket. So these are the three most popular Git hosting services available. For example, you can go to GitHub and explore your topic of interest. For example, I go to topics and there are millions and millions of projects which are available. Like for example, your famous software like Android, Angular, Arduino, AWS, Azure, Bash, Bitcoin, Bootstrap, you name any software, it is available on GitHub. Similarly, on GitLab, you can go to explore and you can explore projects, groups, snippets, and all the softwares. Like for example, the current trending software here is a CSR project, which is just updated 2 days ago. So let's keep that aside and go to the Git book. So if I open the Git book, so it's around 500 page book, but we will just go to the concepts of Git. So the concept of Git is a repository. Like for example, there are three developers. So the three developers can pull and push their project data to a shared repository. So developer 1 can pull it from a shared repository. Developer 2 can also pull it and also push it to the shared repository. And the third developer also can pull and push. So this is called as a centralized version control, where the shared repository is centralized and the developers are independently pulling and pushing the data. So distributed version control means this is how it looks. So Git is a distributed version control. So what does it mean? So the meaning of distributed version control is there is a server computer on this, so you keep all your version databases or your version software. Then there is a developer A on a computer A, and he will be having exactly the same copy as a server computer. Like for example, there is a version 1, 2 and 3 on the server computer. Software developer A on his computer A will also be having exact database version 1, version 2 and version 3. Software developer using computer B will also have exactly version 1 and 2 and 3 on his laptop or desktop. Similarly, both A and B can also pull and push their software among or between their computer as well. So this is called as a distributed version control, where you can have a centralized computer and both the developers will contribute to the main server computer, and they can also contribute to each other's software. And this is the one of the most commonest way that you can use a distributed version controller. Let's see. Let's see the basic concept of Git. So Git is like you keep your backup documents. Like for example, you may be keeping your Word document as final version 1 dot docx, final version 2 dot docx, when you are using Git, you will not be using version 1, version 2 in the same folder. Instead of that, you will be keeping all those information in a repository called as a .git repository. So this is a hidden repository. We'll find out later on. So the concept in Git is there is a working directory. This is the directory where you keep your current working files and folders. Then there is a staging area. So this is when you stage all your files and folders to the staging area. Once they are kept in the staging area, you can commit so that they go into the Git repository directory. Alright, this may be confusing at this stage. When we start doing it, you may be able to understand better. Let's look at it. Here I have my brand new Ubuntu software which is just installed. So we'll be starting brand new and fresh so that you get a feel of how it looks. So I have a Ubuntu latest version. So like for example, I have a Ubuntu 20.04 version. So what do we do now? So before you start installing the before you start installing Git, you need to update by using apt update. This will update all your repository of Ubuntu. Alright, once that is done, so let's clear. So now we can install Git by using apt install Git. I just type Y. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, the Git is now installed. Let's check the version of Git. Now we have 2.251 version of Git. So if you go to the main website, we have 2.29 is the latest version, but this particular Ubuntu is only giving us 2.25, but that's fine. We can just start using with 2.251. So if you want to get help, you can type git -- help. So we get all the Git commands which are available. For example, git clone, git init, git add, git move, git rm, git log, show, status, git pull and push. So let's go to the next step. Alright, so before you go start your Git exercises, we need to make a directory for learning Git. Let's make a directory called Git tutorial. Okay, now I get into Git tutorial directory. So here I need to make my files so that I can version control them. So I create a file called file.md. I can create another file or file2.md, I can also create a directory called folder 1, and I can create another folder called folder 2. Now if I ls, I have two files and two folders. Okay, let's see how we can start a Git repository. So till now we are not started with Git repository. We can use git init for initializing Git in this particular folder, that is Git tutorial folder. So when I type git init and type enter, so there is a empty Git repository is initialized under Git tutorial slash dot git. So dot git is a invisible folder of Git where all the Git configurations are stored. So let's ls. So there is nothing has changed after we started initializing, except there is this invisible Git folder. Now let's get into Git invisible folder just to check what are the configurations available over there. So now if I check ls, so there are lots of files and folders here: head, branches, config, description, object, and references. So these are all the Git config files and folders which are used to learn create Git. Okay, let's go back one step higher and check. Okay, now we have added Git repository. Now we need to go. So now we are in our working directory. From the working directory, now we need to put all your files and folder to a staging area. So the way that you go to a staging area is we need to use a git command called git add. So git add is we are adding our files from the working directory into the staging area. So you can add all the files and folders from the working directory into the staging area, or you can choose which files and folders particularly you would like to put them in the staging area. Let's add file.md to the staging area. Okay, so it doesn't show anything, but it is already added. So let's add git file2.md staging area. So this is how you add individual file. If you want to add all the files and the folders into staging area, you just need to add git add and dot. That means it will add all the folders files from the current directory. Okay, so after this, now we have added the working directory files folders to the staging area. So after staging, so the next step is committing. So committing is nothing but creating a history. That means you commit some files now. You can commit few files after 5 minutes. You can commit after 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, after 1 day or 1 month. Depending on your project, you can keep on committing. So every commit is a history in itself. Okay, let's check now. Let's commit. So after adding, so let's do git commit -m, and we need to give a commit message, that is first commit message, and close Okay, after this, when I enter and when I press enter, it says, please tell me who you are. So you can't have your repository without giving some configuration about yourself, like for example your email, your username, so that we can use these for uploading your repository to either GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket. Okay, so for this you have to run this command only once when you start your repository. So we just need to give git, okay, this command. So we just need to type git config dash dash global user dot email and your email ID. So my email ID for this particular project would be demo tutorial at gmail.com. Okay, so now I have provided my email. I need to give my username. I can use now git config dash dash global user dot name, and I need to give my username. I might call for this one demo tutor. That will be my username. Alright, so now my git configs are set up. So after this, let me clear this. So now we have put our staging area files, and we need to now commit from the staging area into Git repository by committing our the way that we do is we use git commit minus m with message, and we just need to give a understandable message, like for example first commit project, and I click enter. Alright, so this is your first commit. So it is saying that the master branch, it's a root commit, that is your first commit, and there is a number for that which is called as a hash, and the name of the commit is first commit of the project. So in this there are two files of change, no insertion, no deletions, and there are two files, that is file and file2 were created. Alright, but we created two folders as well, but these folders don't have any content inside, so it is not showing those things here. Let's get into folder 1 and add some files. Okay, let's make folder dot txt. Let's make one more, folder 2 dot txt. Alright, now let's add folder dot txt. We can also add git add folder 2 dot txt. Now we have added our working directory and staged them by using git add individual file name. Now from the staging area we need to commit with a commit message and send them to git repository. Okay, let's now git commit minus m and a message which is add folder and folder to text files and enter. Alright, so now it is saying that okay, so now you're on the master branch and the name of the commit is hide folder and folder 2 text files, and 2 files have been changed and 0 insertions and 0 deletions. Alright, now we have added 2 commit messages. Let's check what are those commit messages and where are they. So for that we can use a command called as git log. So git log will give you the log of all your commits. So with this, now we know that our first commit was done today 22:54 by demo tutor using demotutorial@gmail.com, and the commit hash is 857. This is the unique hash, and the second commit was made by demo tutor on Friday 22:56 and the name of the commit was add folder and folder to txt files. Alright, that's git log, and it is also showing that our master branch is at the head, or the head of the project is at the master branch. So we will get to know what is the meaning of the head in subsequent lessons. Basically, head means your most recent commit, which is reference to a branch, which could be either master or any of the other branches. We'll see them later. Alright, so now you made 2 commits and we know how to check for the log. Like for example, git log will give me this. Like for example, let me clear this. So git log will give me this. Similarly, there is git status. So it is telling me now I am on the master branch and nothing to commit, and the working tree is clean. Alright, let's add, let's go back to one folder up and let's add some content into our files. Alright, we can use either there are many text editor, so we can use either a VI text editor or a nano. So both of them are not installed here because we are starting as a fresh Ubuntu install. So let's add VIM, which is a text editor. So let's check this software. So we just add Vim and let's add also a shell, a new shell which is called the fish, FISH. That is a friendly interactive shell. So now all our commands are not visible properly. They are all black and white and there are no color coding and it's very difficult to understand. So let's install fish shell and it'll be easier for us to start looking at some of the projects. Right, let me clear. And alright, let me open a new shell which is called as a friendly interactive shell. Okay, so with fish, so my git folder is now color coded and it is telling me that I am on a master branch, so which was not visible in bash shell. Okay, so now we have our vim open. So if you want to open a folder or a file in vim, we use vim and the name of the file dot md. Okay, so this file at the moment is empty. So the way that you use vim is when you want to enter any text in a vim file, you just type I and it will take you into insert mode and you can start typing. Okay, let's type first line, second line, and third line, and then I hit escape, then I can save it. So I just type colon and W and Q to close vim. Okay, so let me show you again. Vim file.md. Okay, now I want to enter something in vim. I type I, it opens insert mode. I type my content, fourth line, then I type escape, then I type colon, W, write and quit. So that means it is saving the file and also exiting or quitting the file. Okay, so now we added some content into our file, that is file md. So now check what is the status of this git repository. So if I hit git status, oh, it tells me that I'm on the master branch and I not staged my these files. Changes not staged for commit. Okay, so modified file.md, but I have not added it to my staging area. So you know from the previous exercise, the way to file stage is git add. Since we have only changed only one file, so we can name that particular file. Alright, now if we go to git status, so it says okay, it is no longer red. Now you already added this to staging area. Now we need to commit. Alright, you can commit by using git commit -m and a message which is add content to file.md and close. And now it says one file has changed and there are 4 insertion. If you remember, we made 4 insertions here, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so now if I type git log, so now it gives me 3 commits. That is first, the second and the third was made at 2300 hours. Added content to file. So now I got 1 2 and 3 commits. So this is a repeat task. So you make changes, then you add to the staging area, then you commit it. Like for example, let me clear this. Alright, let's check. Now let's enter something into file 2. So vim, we have file 2.md I type I, okay, file2 content, I type 1 2 3 4, hit escape, right, quit, enter. Now check status, git status. So there are things modified for file2, so we are not added, so we can add using git add and the file to update what will be committed. So we'll talk about restore in the later videos. So now let's add git add file 2.md. Okay, now git status says changes to be committed. These are modified and these are already staged. That's why they are in green. So now git commit. So because we are using FISH shell, so the moment I type something, there is auto completion. So I just need to hit tab or arrow and it will take me to the appropriate one. So now I say fourth commit. Okay, so now it says 7 insertions. Okay, if you remember, we have file 2 and we added 7, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 and the 7 line. Alright, so W and Q. Okay, now let's clear. Now we go to git log to check our log. So now we have 1 2 3 and 4 commits and the head is at the master. That is our most recent commit. Okay, let's clear and let's delete some content from any of the files. Again, we open vim and let's open file.md. Alright, now I type I, so I don't want the third and the fourth line. I modify. Now I type escape, I colon W Q. Okay, now let's check the status of the repository. Oh, it says you modified file.md. Okay, let's also modify the second file, that is file1 dot or file2 dot md. So okay, this time I press I remove this one and I just add here. Now escape W Q and we modified two files. Now file1 and file.md and file2.md. Let's check what's the status. Get status. Oh, it now saying you modified two files, file.md, file2.md. So either we can add file.md and file2.md to git add. Sorry, here git add. So if you got like 10 files or 100 files, you can't do each of them. So for that, you add git add and dash. That means add all the content of the current folder. So now when I add git add dash, it adds all the changes which have happened in the current repository. And now check status. Git status, it says alright, you modified these two and now they are staged. Now after the staging you need to commit. Git commit -m. Now edited file content and hit enter. Alright, now it's saying two files are changed. Yeah, we did change file and file2 and one insertion and two deletion. Okay, and let's check git log. Alright, so now we have how many? Many commits. We have the first commit, second commit, third commit, fourth commit, and the fifth commit, which is again at the master. So this is how you give git commands to make git add, git stage, git commit, git log, and git stage. Okay, so now you know the basic git commands. So we have basic git commands are git add, git commit, git log, git status, then what else? Git init. So this is done only once when you start your first repository, and these are the common one. So the repetition is you git add, then git commit, and git log, look for the logs, then change some things in your file, then git add, git commit, then check for the logs, then edit, then you git add, then git commit, git log. So similarly you can keep on doing for every changes. So the changes could be made very frequently according to your needs, and it's better that you change whenever there is a major change to your files or to your project, so that you have a history of that particular folder. Alright, so now we've been only working on one repository that is called as a master branch. So in Git you use something called as a branch repositories. That means if we go to this one, so here I have version 1, version 2, and version 3. So this could be one branch, second branch, and the third branch. So now we'll check how to create a branch. Okay, so for creating a branch, so if you don't know much about git branch, so just type git branch dash dash help, and alright, it should come, but let's do a branch. Git branch. So when I type only git branch, it tells me that I have one branch which is a master branch. Alright, if I want to create another branch, so I can create another branch. So now I type git branch, so it tells me, oh, now I got two branches. So I can create one more branch which is called as a git branch, which is a demo branch. I can create another branch which is called as classwork or trial. So now I type git branch. Now it tells me that I have another branch, demo branch, master branch, and trial branch. The star means I am now in master branch. Alright, let's get into one of these branch. Let's imagine that you are working on a trial software or a trial project. So for that you need to create a new branch which is called as a trial branch. We already created a trial branch. Now you need to get into trial branch. The way that you get into a trial branch is you just say git checkout trial. So it says I switched to branch trial, and also it shows because we are using fish shell. So now I am on the trial branch. So if I look at the content of the trial branch, so I have file 2, folder 1, folder 2. Let's look at the content of file.md. Alright, it's the same content that we have. And alright, so let's imagine we want to make some editing for file1, file.md and file2.md. Alright, so let's imagine that we want to add some new things to file.md. Alright, now instead of second line, I want to add a third line, but with capitals now. Alright, now I want to add a fourth line and fifth line on the sixth line. Okay, I type escape and WQ. Now you know what is the drill. So I checked git status. It says, oh, what's status? I didn't type the S. Git status. It says, alright, you modified file.md, so you know the drill. So we add git add dash. Now I check for the status again. So it is now gone into staging area. So now I type git commit -m add capital 4, 5 and 6 line, and see, now it says I've changed one file and there are 4 insertion. Okay, now if I type git log, so now it is telling me it's okay if I just type here. So our first branch is also available in our demo branch, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is master branch where we were, and we branched into a trial branch, and now the head is in the trial, but we branched it from master branch, which also had demo branch and another branch. So we branched from this part to another one. Okay, just imagine that now you are on a trial branch and these 3 different branches of a tree. Alright, let's clear this. Okay, let's add few more changes to file 2.md. Alright, now I type I and add a line, add another line, escape WQ. Okay, now git status git add git commit -m add content to file2.md. Now we made 3 insertions to file2.md. So now I check git status, nothing to commit, and git log. So we made 2 commits on trial branch. Alright, so that is branching. Okay, now let's check out to the master branch from the trial branch. How do you do that? So for that I write git checkout and the name of the branch. Okay, I can check out to a master branch by typing git checkout master, and I am into master. I can again go back to trial by typing git checkout trial. I am into trial. From the trial I can also go to a demo branch. Now I am in a demo branch. From demo branch I can go to trial branch by typing git checkout trial. I am in trial. So okay, you know the drill now. So let's check out to a master branch. Okay, I am in the master branch. Let's check the status. So okay, nothing to commit. Let's imagine now you added these two content to file.md on the trial, and you want to incorporate these two changes from trial into master. That is what called as a merge. So you can merge the branches, changes in the branch into any of the branch. Alright, for that we use a command called as a merge. So for that you need to be in the master branch because you would like to merge changes from the trial into the master. So okay, so we type git checkout, git merge. Before merging you need to make sure that your git repository is clean. That means nothing to commit here because you are merging changes in git trial into git master. For that we type git master, git merge and the name of the branch, which is trial, and it says okay. So this is called as a fast forward merge. So we are updating merges from trial into master. So we know there are 4 changes, 4 additions in file.md and 3 in file2.md. Alright, now if I check for the status, it is nothing to, it's clean, there is nothing to commit. But if I ls and go to the file.md, the changes from the trial must be in the master file.md. Let's check vim file.md. Alright, you see now we have third and the fourth and the sixth, fifth line on the sixth, which were created in a trial branch. They are here. Similarly, we can look what has happened in file2.md. Alright, we removed some things here and we added a line, we added another line, so that is also there. So this is how you make use of git commands. Alright, so that is a short introduction to Git. As you know, Git has a lot of commands, and we only looked at few of them. So we looked at init, we looked at add, we looked at log, we looked at status, and we did the branch, we created, we listed, we have not deleted it, and we done commit, we done merge, and we have done switch. Alright, so let's just delete a branch and we can end the tutorial now, and we can take up some of the other commands in the future. tutorials. So let's look at the branches. So git branch. So I am on master branch. Alright, let's imagine I want to delete another branch and demo branch. These two are not required. So I can use a command git rm, remove files, not git rm, git branch minus d, that means delete another branch. Alright, okay, there is a typo error in our another branch, so we just need to type as it is, bracnh. Okay, so we deleted another branch. Similarly, we can delete demo branch. Alright, there's a typo here as well. Sorry, git branch minus d demo branch. Okay, we deleted demo branch as well. Now check for the branches. So git branch. So now we successfully deleted another branch and a demo branch. Okay, so we're done quite a bit of Git now. So you can start practicing by using all this command. So you can go to, I can type history, or you can type history in your terminal now and look for all this commands that you have typed from the beginning, and you can start learning from there. That's in brief Git tutorial in 1 hour or so. So we will be taking some more commands in the future videos. Thank you for listening and watching. Have fun learning Git. Bye bye.